Todd, please can you introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your background?
Yeah, my name's Todd Stephens. I am from a small town in Ohio called Sandusky, which I left when I was right when I graduated from high school and moved to New York City, and that's where I've lived ever since.
After Gypsy 83, another gay movie, another gay cycle, Gays Gone Wild, Swan Song is your new movie. What was your main motivation for directing this movie?
I wanted to pay tribute to this man, Mr. Pat, that was sort of a legendary, flamboyant and courageous figure in my hometown that had a big influence on me growing up because I always felt a bit different myself. And Pat was very different than anybody else in town. So he was always like a role model to me. And I always knew I wanted to make a film about him. It took me, a number of years to figure out what it was. So, yeah.
What should be for you a good acting direction?
Say that again.
Sorry, what should be for you a good acting direction?
What is a good acting direction?
Yes.
I find that I try not to direct too much.
Okay.
That the best directing that I can do is casting the right person in the part to begin with. I think that's 90% of directing. And then, talking, hanging out, getting to know each other, getting to trust each other. And then, when we're actually shooting, I don't give a lot of direction, just little nudges here and there, but if you cast the right person, sometimes it's best to just stay out of the way, and let it happen.
Swan Song completes your Ohio trilogy and can be seen as a fictional memoir of flamboyant hairdresser Mr. Pat in the 1980s. Which difference have you seen between the production of your first movie and this one?
That's a good question. They were both shot in the same town, which was my town where I grew up, where my parents and brothers still live. And the big difference is that when we made Edge of 17 there 20 years ago, it also had gay subject matter. That was actually my autobiographical coming out story. And at the time, we felt that we needed to keep that story, what it was actually about, a secret. So we created like a fake script and kept the gay subject matter in the closet almost. Because we were afraid that people wouldn't help us, When you're shooting in a small town, you need a lot of cooperation for locations, extras, all that. So we kind of kept what it was about a secret, which was sad, But the big difference is that now when I showed up there to start pre-production, they're having the 3rd annual Gay Pride Festival. So times have changed a lot. And, this time, everybody welcomed us with open arms. They celebrated the subject matter of the film. So it really showed me, it almost kind of blew my mind, but it really showed me how, just looking at my hometown specifically, how much it changed in 20 years. And that gave me a lot of hope and made me feel really good.
What means for you Essex SW Festival?
Say that one more time.
What means for you to be in the Essex SW Festival?
Oh yeah, I have always been a big admirer of films that have come out of South by Southwest, and I've never been to the festival. This is the first time that I've been a part of this one, and I'm just, it's a huge honor, Like, the only thing I'm sad about is that we can't all be together in person, and because I really am dying to see the film with an audience, There's nothing like that, but it'll happen at some point. I have faith.
What can you tell us about your cast of Swan Song, and more precisely about your collaboration with Kier and Jennifer Coolidge, please?
It was a very very hard part to cast, We spent over a year trying to find the perfect Mr. Pat. My casting director suggested Udo, and as soon as she said it, like a light, bulb went off in my brain. and I went out to Palm Springs where Udo lives to meet him, and we just really connected. You know, we really hit it off, and became, actually I went back again because we did a Kickstarter crowdfunding campaign. So by the time we shot the movie, we were friends, you know, and we knew each other. And that was really amazing. Udo said from the beginning that he didn't want to act, you know, he just wanted to be, you know, and not overdo it, you know. So that was really amazing. I really felt like I was watching every day like a master class in film acting, you know, and I knew that I wanted, his face and his eyes are so amazing that I knew that I wanted to have like a lot of close-ups in the film to really like capture the subtleties of his performance. Jennifer Coolidge was like one of my all-time favorites, you know, so she was my first choice to play the part, and it was a dream to work with her. You know, I wrote the scene, but half the things she says in the scene are improv, you know. They're stuff that just comes out of, you never know what's going to come out of her mouth, and that is the thrill of working with Jennifer, is that she never ceases to surprise you. And I also love that we get to see a whole other side of her in this film than what we're usually used to seeing. She's still funny, but there's also like a real human side and almost a sadness in her performance that I really love, that I'm really proud of.
In this specific time, how is difficult actually to create a movie and put some funds to do it?
Say that again?
Sorry, in this specific time, how is difficult actually to create a movie and find some funds to do it?
How is it in this moment? How
Yes.
is it to make is it hard to make a film?
Yes.
Okay. This film luckily was shot before the pandemic happened. I don't know how I would have made it. You know, I don't think it would have been possible. For independent films, small films like this, you know, most of them just had to wait until this is over, because it costs so much more money to shoot a film during the pandemic than it would normally. So yeah, luckily we shot it before, but the pandemic provided a great opportunity to really be able to take my time with the editing, you know, and the post-production. So it actually was kind of like it worked out well, because I think I got a chance to edit it, you know, longer than I normally would have. So it worked out well for this film.
Which are for you the main ingredients to make a good drama comedy as this one?
Say that one more time.
Which are for you the main ingredients to create a good drama comedy as this one?
I don't totally understand. So you mean, is it hard to make a comedy drama?
A drama comedy, yeah.
Yeah, I don't set out to make, it's funny, I never knew that like I had like a funny side. But all the films that I write, you know, seem to have like light moments that like just come out. I don't know what it is. I don't think too much about it. It's just kind of what comes out naturally. But I really do love that combination of you know, watching a film where one moment you're crying, one moment you're laughing, and so you know, that, I guess that was kind of the goal, you know, is to show both of those sides of human emotion.
Which are the main difficulties that you have met during the making of this movie?
We had to shoot it in a very short amount of time. You know, being a low budget film, it had to be shot in 18 days. So that means that you usually only have time to do like 2 or 3 takes of every shot. But so a lot of times it was very rushed, you know, like we had to shoot really, really quickly. But luckily, Udo sort of thrived in that environment, like under that pressure. And you know, you don't have like 10 or 15 takes to figure something out. You kind of have to like capture it and move on. And you know, I don't know, somehow that pressure helped make it better. You know, that urgency created like an urgency in the film and in Udo's performance.
What can you tell us about the different places where you have shot this movie?
Well, it was all really shot, you know, in a very small area, just within the city limits of my hometown. Most of it was shot downtown, and you know, in places that that I grew up, you know, hanging out. And that there's a fountain in the town called the Boy with the Boot, and that's kind of like the symbol of our town. And that was kind of like the center of everything. But I mean, honestly, you know, being back home and shooting like a movie where you grew up is like a dream. You know, there were times when I was like, I'm so lucky, and that we were met with such love and welcome from the town. The town even gave us a grant, you know, as part of our budget. So it was really, it was wonderful. I mean, all of these places in the film I grew up in. So that was like a dream, you know.
Please, can you say some words about your collaboration with the composer Chris Stephens on this movie, please?
Absolutely, yeah. Chris is my brother. He's my younger brother. And I'm about 10 years older, so I used to change his diapers when he was little, you know. And I think I brought him to his first concert, which was Eurythmics in Detroit. And Annie Lennox is like, you know, one of my favorite singers of all time. So we started like a musical conversation from the time he was like a really young little boy. And he has this amazing collection of like analog synthesizers from the 70s and 80s that he used to create the score. And it was really like a dream to, I keep talking about dreams, but like that was a dream as well, to be able to like work with my little brother, you know, for the first time. It's the first time we worked together. And I just think that his score, he just captured, he was also a part of the shoot, and we shot in his house, you know. So, and he actually created the score in the same house that we shot in. So it was amazing to come full circle with finally getting a chance to work with him.
Who are your favorite directors, and which films are the main driving force behind your artistic creation?
I love Richard Linklater. I love Alexander Payne. Nebraska was like a film that was a big influence on this. Those are a couple of my favorites. I also, I have like another side of me that does these crazy comedies, and I'm sorry, well, David Lynch is one of my favorites. Speaking of the Straight Story, which is another influence on the film, but John Waters is like a huge idol of mine.
And my last questions, which are your current projects?
I'm not sure. I literally have like this whole like list of ideas that I was just working on today, and yeah, I mean, I'm not sure yet, but I'm not sure yet. We'll see. But I have a like. I'm very excited to start writing something again. It's been a while, you know. So we'll see where it goes.
Thank you, Todd. Have a good day. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye.